Hello, non-writer fans. I'm back at Winters Tavern with CJ, and we're going to talk about what's happening at Winters Tavern in May. We did this for the first time last month, and April was, it's not over yet, but man, what a month so far. You had your 10 days, 10 anniversaries, 10 days of shows, and you went to all 10 days, CJ. How did you survive that?
Just barely. Yeah, it was incredible. It was very emotional for me, mentally and physically exhausting. I started planning 6 months ago, last year, and making calls and making things happen. And then, you know, the couple of weeks leading up until the 31st was the official first day, going into April Fool's Day, which is our official anniversary. And so 10 days for 10 years, a decade of hits anniversary celebration was a huge success. So many amazing bands, 16 shows in total, almost 40 bands after a couple of dropouts. We had 42, and then it ended up being something like 38. I don't even know. But I got to see every single one of those bands, and I don't even know how I made it through, but it was so energizing to have all of that happening, and all the bands that have been a big part of Winters for a decade, and people just recounting and recalling amazing shows in the past, and how far we've come, and how many huge successful shows we've had in that time, and you know, where do we plan to go in the future, and
all the amazing friends you've made over those 10 years.
Oh man, so many cool people. I'm so lucky, you know, to have this incredible space and location.
Yeah, well, as you know, the friends that you've made over here love what you've done with the place, and 10 more years, CJ. We're counting on it.
Yeah,
at least.
Why not? Sounds wonderful.
So then there was another big event on, I think it was the April 15th. You had Punk Rock in Pacifica, indoor, outdoor, all day kind of festival type event. That was huge. I stopped by for that, and man, it was packed.
It was packed.
We had good weather, which was nice. Here in Pacifica, that can be a challenge sometimes.
Right. Yeah, we got real lucky with weather. The turnout was amazing. I think we had 14 acts total with a couple of DJs, indoor and outdoor, going strong from 1 p.m. until close. Different, you know, waves of people would be coming and going all day. In fact, at one point, they were doing the indoor-outdoor stagger with the two stages, and I got some video of a packed beer garden with the rock band outside, come inside to the band that was overlapping and playing at the very same time, with a few stragglers in here, kind of night and day, because it's so dark in here, and it was a bright, beautiful day outside. It was just such a success, you know. Lots of wonderful bands, lots of wonderful people, no problems. Just all positive and amazing, and that's kind of what we strive for.
Right. So we're shooting this in the last week of April, so we got one more week of shows in April, and this is Monday, I believe, Monday, April 24th. Is that right, CJ? I mean, I go to a lot of shows too, so I lose track of time.
Yeah, it's really easy to do that.
So we wanted to get one more plug in here for the Hajj, who's been playing 4 days. A 4-day residency in April.
It's a coffee residency.
Yes, the coffee residency. And
handmade on stage.
I saw them yesterday doing their acoustic set. That's the first time I've seen them playing acoustic. It was
Me too.
Fantastic.
It was good.
The drummer, Philip, he was actually playing on a box. It wasn't just any box. It's called a cajon. I took some video of that and posted it on Facebook. You should really check it out. Anyway, it was a beautiful set.
It was.
And a little different to see them playing acoustic, because they tend to be a loud electric band.
Right.
And you'll get to see the Loud Electric Band this Saturday, right?
This Saturday night.
All right.
Yeah, the last weekend in April, 28, isn't it? Or 29th?
29th, yeah,
29.
yeah. So don't miss your last chance to see the Hajj.
The Hajj with Gusher and Skip in the last straws.
All right.
Skip has no talent.
Cool.
Proclaimed.
Let's get into what's happening in May.
Let's do that.
You got shows almost every day.
We do. We're really up and rolling. May is strong. In fact, we even have a cover show, which we only do maybe once a quarter, usually like 3 times a year, 4 at the most. We've had one with the sold-out show at the Mummies. That was an incredible show.
Last month, yeah.
That was last month. Wow, sold out in an hour, fastest sellout ever. Incredible show. That was kind of the feather in the cap of our 10-year
We should
anniversary.
say most of the shows here are free, but that was a ticketed
The
show.
majority of our shows are free. It works out best that way. We're a small neighborhood bar, and we don't want to exclude our built-in crowd and our neighbors in the neighborhood. We do get a lot of people coming from all over the Bay Area to come and see our shows.
Any ticketed shows in May?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
All right.
It's rare that we have that caliber of band, and I mean experience and financial need,
Right.
to where we cannot afford to have a free show because then we would lose our ass. So we have to have ticketed shows for certain caliber of bands. This one coming up on the 12th of May is a Friday night with a ton of punk bands, including D.I., originally from Orange County.
Your home area.
Fullerton? Yeah, I was in San Diego for a decade plus. But anyway, 1981, D.I., the drummer, Casey Royer of The Adolescents and Social Distortion, wrote a lot of I think he wrote all of the first album. And anyway, it's just a huge, influential, hardcore punk band from SoCal. Yeah. And they'll be right there on stage in a couple of weeks.
How do people get tickets for that?
Eventbrite.
Eventbrite.
I am using Eventbrite now, which seems to be functioning quite well. Kudos
go to the
to them.
Winters Facebook page.
Yeah, the Facebook page, the event page, Eventbrite itself. Our website will all direct you to there. Hopefully I can talk DI into putting a link on their huge platform.
Great.
But that's with Fux, F-U-X, from Underexposure. And I believe they're from Salinas, another hardcore punk band. They're incredible. They actually just played at the Punk in Pacifica that we described, and they're so good. Some locals, the Coughs. It's a Coast Side punk rock band supporting. DJ Skeevy will be spinning vinyl throughout. He is a DJ for Radio Valencia, which is a local community radio station in San Francisco and the Mission. They're quite supportive of us, which is so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I used to live in the Mission, and Radio Valencia was actually a cafe that did live music too.
Yeah.
In those days.
How cool.
I think it's the same guy doing the...
It must be.
Yeah. That's great that you're in touch with him.
Yeah. We're super lucky in that way, especially now post-COVID. There's only so many, venues for what we're doing left, and so amazingly enough, we've sort of established ourselves before that all went down. And so now that we're kind of like the last man standing, so to speak, the group of us that are, everyone's really kind of gravitating towards us even more, and which is awesome because you don't know that you've got that support until something weird happens like this, where now everyone's like, CJ, I was at this show, back in 16 and 14 and whatever, and it's just so cool that like we're all kind of like bonding and trying to get through and move forward with independent live music,
Yeah. Yeah, so come on out and join the live music community here at Winters Tavern. Lots of friendly people, and we're having a great time here. Thanks to CJ. So what else is coming up in May?
So let's start at the beginning. On the 5th, we have Avenue Army, VRBS, and Raised by Rats. So Avenue Army is a new band to me. It's a San Diego self-proclaimed power pop with huge balls.
Okay.
Yeah, then alt rock from VRBS and Raised by Rats.
Love that name.
That's the great name. That's the 5th. Then coming back for more is another punk festival called Grimstock on the 6th.
Yeah, this is like the second Grimstock?
The second
Because I
Grimstock.
remember the first one. Now, you got to explain the name because I didn't really get it.
Okay, so Gremlin Music Production is Sean's baby from the Dead River Rebels. He's the drummer and man behind that band and that production company.
Oh.
So this is his little baby, the Grimstock.
Oh, cool. Because Dead River Rebels, they play here quite a bit.
They
right?
do. They're local,
Yeah.
and they squeeze on quite a few punk shows over the course of the year.
So how many bands are part of Grimstock on this?
11 total.
So this is going to be an all-day thing too, huh?
Yeah, and I had a big poster. Someone already stole it.
That's all right. I'll pluck a poster off.
Wayne and Garth.
Oh, cool.
But we're looking at the Helltones, Hemmed Up, Dead River Rebels, of course. Makosos, I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Speed Demon, Creepy Crawlies, Diablo Muerto, Them Creatures, Fire Drill, All to the Grave, and Face Kicker.
Face Kicker. All
Yeah.
right. Maybe I'll avoid the pit for that one.
Maybe stay on the outskirts.
Yeah. All right. So that's May 6th. What day of the week is that?
It is a Saturday.
Saturday,
All
all-day
night Saturday.
And is it going to be all indoor? Or some indoor?
No, it'll be both.
Both
Yeah,
again. Oh.
yeah. Again,
you
the
gotta
dueling
come out for this.
stages.
The indoor-outdoor things are so much fun.
It is fun. It's
All right.
nice to have that, staggered.
Yeah.
It makes it easier on the bands. It makes it easier on everyone. It just seems to run that much smoother.
Yeah, it's nonstop action all day
is.
long.
So next up is a fun little story and another incredible highlight of next month. So I've always been a huge fan of Melvin's and Mr. Bungle,
Oh, yeah.
both bands I've seen multiple times in multiple states, and they're coming up on tour with Epicac Recordings. Excuse me, it's not Epicac Records, it's Epicac Recordings.
Okay.
That's huge.
That's the guy from Faith No More, right? Mike Patton?
Yeah.
That's his label?
Yeah. Well, Mr. Bungle.
Mr. Bungle,
yeah.
So Mr. Bungle's kind of turned into this all-star band.
It
right?
really has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen multiple players come and go from other bands.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just
the guy from Anthrax was playing.
Yeah,
guitar
I saw that in San Francisco, pre-COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Huh.
They are on, it's called a Geek Show, the Geek Show tour. So it's Mr. Bungle and the Melvins, and this band is opening. It's the small letters on the tour poster, the Spotlights.
Oh.
And I don't know everything about music, and I had never heard of the Spotlights, and I was wondering what kind of coolness they must be to have got themselves on this tour. So I looked them up, and their music is incredible. And I sent them an email, and they responded.
Huh.
Would you enjoy an intimate show on your huge tour with some of my favorite bands? And the answer was, sure, why not?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they confirmed and agreed to the terms, and we have them coming on Sunday the 7th, the day after Grimstock. So save some energy.
Tell him to invite Mike Patton.
Oh man, I'm gonna try not to sound like a dork while I beg them and tell them that I've been asking him and the Melvins for 10 years to come and play here.
Yeah.
There's still this,
So what day is the Spotlight show?
Sunday night, the Sunday night, the 7th.
Oh, okay.
So the Spotlights describe themselves as atmospheric bludgeoning from Brooklyn, New York. And their music is so strong, in fact, that as soon as I announced Spotlight's TBA, I had people just emailing, private messaging me, phone calls.
All right.
Hey, those are my friends, man. You better treat them right. I'm like, okay, man. Right on. So they are quite well respected, East Coast and beyond. And they just played the Tower Bar, San Diego, one of our sister venues in San Diego.
You have sister venues all over the place.
I just like that term. It's like places that I've laid a swath in my day, and I've seen a lot of really good shows at, and they're very supportive of the very same scene.
So does Spotlights, did they provide you with this poster?
They did. Isn't that incredible?
It is, yeah. It's very ominous looking. I'll drop a picture in the video.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about the artwork is it sometimes disappears, and then I tend to make a couple of extras, but they do disappear. And the artwork is quite good.
Great.
As is the band. And supporting.
And that's a free show?
It's a free show.
All right.
Yeah. We try to do that as much as we can, and there's a perfect example of something that they agreed to.
Yeah.
Because of what it is and where we are.
Yeah.
And this sideshow kind of thing.
Sure.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So we have the locals. San Francisco post-metal band Mountaineer supporting the Spotlights on Sunday the 7th.
Huh.
And opening from Merced is a grunge metal doom, if you will, band called Eye of Aquila.
Huh, from Merced.
Merced.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
That's Central Valley country for those of you who don't know. It's like farmland.
So those two
in the middle of
bands
California.
They were up in the ranks, and they were the ones that the Spotlights agreed to because, as I described, multiple people were trying to get on that bill.
Yeah, great.
So I'm really excited about that in particular.
So
that's my highlight of the month.
Looks like a great show to me.
Who am I?
I'm going to make that one.
Yeah. So then. Of course, we've already described the 12th, the DI show. Buy tickets, don't miss it. It will be killer. Could be a surprise band on there. Antisocial, who are our good friends, have dropped off because of a wedding. It's a brother-fronted band, a bass and guitar, both brothers, the Cordobas in Antisocial. And they got a first cousin wedding. All of a sudden, they had to drop off the bill. They gave me the show. They had to drop off the bill. So anyway, we're figuring that out.
All right.
So then, on to the 13th, we have some fun locals. Hangtown, one of my favorite Bay Area surf rock bands. You will, Rick, be impressed if you haven't seen them before. It's very on the weird
surf rock.
Surf rock,
but is it like metal edge or punk edge?
They describe themselves. It's really funny. Post-apocalyptic spaghetti western surf rock.
Okay.
And it's really the heavy side of surf, and they're fucking bitching.
All right.
Super good. Then a new band to me, Consolidated Electric from Oakland, is an indie pop rock band, is on that bill. And then the Reverbivores, who are an instrumental surf rock band from the Bay Area as well. So that's the 13th, and that will be a fun show that weekend.
Great.
On to the 16th is a not open mic. Normally every Tuesday is open mic with Bobby, Captain Bob, and his backlined open mic, which is amazing. So we have a drum kit set up, and guitar cabinets, and so it tends to be quite a party instead of
And anyone can play?
just anyone can play. Instead of singer-songwriter, it's full band and or singer-songwriter, whatever you got kind of thing, which it tends to be quite fun. And so that's every Tuesday, except for when I get random offers such as this. So we have a 4-band metal night on a Tuesday, the 16th. Here at the end, In Your Grave, When the Broken Burn, and my favorite name of the bunch, A Good Rogering. Yes, because you know, we could all use a good rogering.
Yeah. Poor
So
Roger.
that is not open mic. The 16th Tuesday, Bobby will take the night off. Then we're on to Friday night. Some locals, kind of a San Francisco supergroup called the Class of 77, and they put together an incredible list of covers from 1977. Killer, rock and roll covers from 77.
What's their name?
Off hits, Class of 77.
Class of, okay.
Yeah, they're really fun. So on that, it's a kind of a mixed bill. Some Americana on there from Oakland, Cardboard Coffin. And also opening is Japanese Baby, which I don't know anything about, but they are self-described as the only Cure tribute band fronted by Spider-Man.
Okay.
And so their website is mostly in Japanese.
You said Cure cover band?
The Cure. And I think
my
that
wife will love the show.
Well, it might be a joke.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't know.
All right, yeah.
I honestly don't. Because the website is all in Japanese.
Maybe they'll hear from the Cure.
Yeah. Who knows? The Cure rip.
So what day of the week is that again?
That is the 19th. It's a Friday night.
All right, cool.
Oh, no. Yes. 19th, Friday night.
CJ has some really great notes here. He really prepared
I
for this.
put this
one
together
time,
so
yeah.
I don't sound like an idiot. CJ, tell us about it. We got a bunch of bands and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on to the 20th is the following night. It's Saturday night is an odd bill from out of state, from Denton, Texas. Both these two bands, Pozival and the other band is Vanilla and Pepper. Kind of on the indie punk, alternative pop kind of side of things, and we're looking for some Bay Area local support on that, but that'll come together in the coming weeks. So that's Saturday the 20th. Then we have another random midweek hump day big show on the 24th, which is the Parade of Bad Guys from Idaho. It's an alternative country rock and roll band, and they're quite strong from the digital stuff I listen to and watch.
That's a touring band?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, from Idaho. Then we have it's a really weird mix that we got lucky enough to put together. Another touring band from Portland, Oregon is jumping on that bill called Glitter Fox, and they're indie folk. Then, last but not least, Carly Thomas from Canada and Europe and beyond. She apparently is from all over the place. She's a folk pop star with a strong voice, singer-songwriter.
Solo?
Gal. Solo.
Okay.
And she's going to be opening that show, so that'll be an interesting hump day of alternative Americana. That's fun stuff.
May 24th?
Yeah, that's a Wednesday night. Then Friday night we have the Seagulls from San Francisco, garage punk blues band. They're quite good. I'm a fan myself. I've seen them several times. They're awesome.
They've been here.
Yeah, they have. I've seen them in the city too. They're really good. And a band that's new to me, the New Elite. New to me, new to them, new, all new. NU, New Elite from East Bay. That's an indie pop band.
Would that be like new metal, only elite?
I hope not.
No, they spell it and you.
Yeah, right. Hopefully that's just to catch your eye.
Hey, man, I like new metal.
Oh, God.
Take it easy.
We're going to have to arm wrestle over that one. Sunshine Rain is opening that, and they're from Central California. And it's a experimental folk rock band, solo. You know, that might be up your alley. Check
sure.
them out. Sunshine
really,
Rain.
Experimental is in their
They're claiming to be experimental.
All right. So again, you non-writer fans out there, got to look up Sunshine Rain. I'll try to be here and do a full report on them. Maybe we'll get an interview. Another experimental band at Winters Tavern.
Yeah. Bring them on. Okay, then let's see. The 27th, we have a huge DJ Test joint. He's been quite supportive of us over the years. It's called Tooth and Nail. DJ Test is behind that. Scott is so awesome. He's the one behind Punk and Pacifica. But this time around, it's more on the hardcore metal mix kind of thing. Thrash, speed metal, that kind of stuff. So
you said that's the 27th?
That's the 27th.
Which is what day of the week?
That is a Saturday.
Okay.
And so it's basically like bands from Sacramento, San Jose, Bay Area.
How many bands?
Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bands and a DJ. Life's Torment headlining. They're from the hardcore from Las Vegas, Nevada. Mm-hmm. Then Choke, Hazard, Speed Demon, Project Mayhem, Eternal, and my personal favorite name, George Costanza.
All right.
They're punk rock and cool. I've seen them play. They're quite good.
All right.
So that'll be a fun Saturday night.
Yeah, and so correct me if I'm wrong here, CJ, but this is another pretty much all-day event.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it seems like you're doing more of these than I remember. I mean, certainly the pandemic created the beer garden, which gave you an outdoor stage.
This is how that all came to be.
So you have the 2 stages now.
Right.
So, and now we're finally coming out of pandemic time, and so
it's amazing what's progressed because we started the matinees on Saturday and Sunday, and they were indoors and during the afternoon, and I was looking for a home for the not so edgy bands so that it could be a little more listenable to the average daytime bar goer. And it worked out quite well. In fact, after a couple of years, it became so popular that I added Friday. So we had solid Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinees during the early afternoon, and they would be booked for months in advance, as they still are. And so then COVID hit and forced us outside, which, of course, the first thing I did was build a stage of pallets. And we started doing music outside in 2020, by the way. Quite a few bands in that year, more so than most venues, I would say, all in that year that we were not supposed to be doing such a thing. We were getting away with all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, we kind of try to keep it semi-acoustic and
I mean, we brought this up last time. You have a good relationship with your neighbors.
Yes.
You go out of your way to keep it cool with everybody.
Yes.
So
I just mean that because we were in such a strange way in the world that no one knew what the rules were, and so we were breaking the law. When people had to drive around with pickup trucks with the band in the back, and they had to keep moving so that they were not really in any one particular place and shut down by the police. So it was a strange time, and I'm so happy for it because we have the outdoor stage, and our temporary permit for that outdoor space is still going, oddly enough, 3+ years later. And cross your fingers. But that has really created more of an interest for the daytime live music program. So now it's almost a fight for who gets the Saturday, and can we have the whole Saturday and stretch it out and have more bands and continue on through the day and on through the night.
Right.
So it's actually really fun to see the momentum and the response.
Yeah.
You know, from the bands all the way to the patrons.
Sure.
Alike, it's just really fun.
Well, you keep this up, CJ, and every weekend's going to be festival weekend at Winters Tavern.
I don't see why not. We just have to up staff, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't mind.
Well, I hope you're going to mention this band on the 25th.
Yes, the 25th I skipped because it's on a separate piece of paper, and I just booked them. Spores from San Francisco. It's a hardcore punk metal crossover band with an experimental
Yay!
band. Rick Rees, experimental extraordinaire.
Yeah, this band. Wait till you hear this band name.
The Wave and the Particle.
You know, I mean, you can't get any more experimental than that. I mean, these guys have got to be physicists.
They might be.
Working in a lab.
Yeah, well, that's...
creating who knows what.
Almost like a Vertison arc materializer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the Wave and the Particle are listening out there, we want to see some of those experiments right here on the stage.
Bring it. Bring your lab coats. Bring your beakers. Let's do this.
So
They're from Newark, California, and they're industrial symphonic metal crossover. That's how they describe their music.
Sounds
and
like a lot of
it's really
gear.
interesting. It's really nice. It's heavy, but quite melodic.
Yeah.
Orchestration. It's really good.
Yeah, well, and that's actually very difficult music to do and pull off. So I've seen it a couple of times and really liked it, but it can also be a little iffy. So looking forward to what flavor of that we're going to get.
Yeah, that's the 25th. It's a weekday. It's a Thursday, I believe. So let's look out for that one as well. Sorry to skip you there in my list here. That's
so we're
coming to the very end of the month. I just want to mention, because it is the 31st and it is another exciting hump day. We have another Canadian artist who describes himself as a road poet. He's a singer-songwriter called Gordy Tentrees. Must be his native name. And then an SF folk band supporting him on the 31st, last day of the month, Clementine Darling. Okay. So there's another Americana date, and
that's a full...
on to June will be full-blown summer.
Well, May, man, wow.
A lot of exciting things happening in May.
That's May at Winters Tavern. I'm glad that we got to do this again. I'm looking forward to doing it again next month.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Go see some shows.